everyone, welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. This is the episode that was supposed to come out last week, but I didn't do it last week because I was enjoying some post-birthday shenanigans by just sitting at home and not doing sweet fuck all. You gotta love it. So, got 5 albums to cover for this one, and, well, you know what, let's just move on, let's just get them done. We started off in New York City for a guy named Fivio Foreign, not Fivio as I almost pronounced it, until I heard him actually saying his name enough throughout the album being titled Bible, or just B-I-B-L-E. It's all spaced out by full stops, but I'm just going to say Bible to save time. So this is his debut full album. I believe he's released maybe a couple of mixtapes before this, maybe an EP or two. And I know very little about him. I know that he's a Kanye West discovery, which, honestly, Fivio, I'm sorry that you had to be discovered by him, of all people. But the album is getting a C+, and it's getting C+, not because of Fivio himself. I think he's actually quite talented. He's got some really good shit to write about. He's got some meaning behind his delivery. He's got a decent flow. What bothers me so is the fact that it's on a major label. Like, Columbia is a pretty big deal for, like, your first album. And it's got so many producers that just... Like, I know that's not, like, nothing new in rap, you know? I mean, Denzel Curry had tons of producers on his album, and his album turned out to be fucking amazing. But, I don't know, I feel like they didn't really want to work with Fivio as much as the producers on Denzel's album wanted to work with him. It just feels like there's so much disconnect, and... It honestly feels like they were getting in the way of the stories that Fivio was trying to tell, which is a shame because, from what I was able to gather, he seems like a pretty good storyteller, you know? And it is a shame when they don't let him do what he wants to do. I think if he were to release his next album more on his own, a bit more independently, maybe on a smaller label, I think that's where he should have started with this one. I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt because, again, I don't believe any of this is actually Fivio's fault, but... Yeah, he needs to, like, ditch the label and ditch the producers quick. I want to see what he's capable of when he's allowed to do all the shit on his own. Next we go to Finland, the country where I want to be for one hidden frame and there. 4th album, which is titled I Am Not Here. It's their first album in about 5 years, but it's the first I'm hearing of them. From what I dug up, they've been around for about 20 years now. The point I am trying to make is that this album is pretty good. I'm giving it a B+. And honestly, it's got a lot of the energy that I like from the more like skate punk, melodic hardcore leaning style of pop punk. It's got a lot of really good riffs. Like, there's some pretty decent solo work for the most part. Like, I do like some good heavy guitar solos in my pop punk, and it's not done often enough for my liking. But yeah, really solid lyricism as well. Like, they recently dropped a song shortly before it came out that supported, like, the Ukraine, and you absolutely should be supporting Ukraine in a time like this because, holy hell, seriously, I don't want to get too political, but fucking hell, Ukraine needs all the help they can get. Anyway, the album, back to the album. Album good, basically. Really fun pop punk, really nice personality from the band members, really nicely put together as well. It does lose a bit of its way near the end of the album, but it fills its time quite nicely, and it's also just really well put together. Next we go to Vacaville, California, for Papa Roach and their 11th album, Ego Trip. These are probably like the bands of this episode that people are going to know the most about, and it's no secret, I absolutely hated Who Do You Trust? I think that was like, if I were to do my worst albums of 2019, that would have been the worst album of 2019 for me. However, they made a massive step in the right direction with this. I'm giving this album a B. I do feel like there are a couple of tracks that probably should have been axed, but honestly, this is a really well put together album. It's a lot of the like weirder sounds that they've been trying over the last few releases that didn't work on those, actually coming together a lot on this, and thank you, Papa Roach, for ditching the fucking Imagine Dragon bullshit. I was getting so sick of the anti-chorus, as I like to call it, and I was getting sick of Papa Roach doing it for like 3 straight albums, and they just decided, yeah, let's actually do choruses on this one. Thank you. Thank you for building up like the songs to, you know, capitalize on something, and not just blue-balling me all the time, like you did on Who Do You Trust. Anyway, really good. Like, about what you expect from Papa Roach in terms of lyrics as well. Like, it is their usual sort of meaningless platitudes, but Jacoby's got some of his old school aggressive energy back, even if he does feel a bit more like a dad these days. And yeah, it's still really nicely put together, and there's some good guest spots as well, but I'm just glad that Papa Roach are actually doing something way better, and this is absolutely... this makes up for Who Do You Trust? Next we go to Los Angeles, California for The Regrets and their third album, almost got that wrong, Future Joy. So these are another band who I've been familiar with mostly through Crash Thompson, and he's covered their albums before. I'd never bothered to listen to them, but I am more of a pop head these days than I was back then. And you know what? This is my favourite kind of pop rock stuff. It's not as heavy as the previous stuff from what I've read up on reviews, but I really liked it. It's a good contrast of the pop rock and very depressingly realistic lyrics and meaning. I'm giving it also a B+. Really, I really enjoyed this album, a lot more than I was expecting to. It's a very buttery smooth flow to it, you know. It does take a little bit of a while to get going on some songs, but there are some amazing songs on here which deal with very, very heavy topics which I, as a white man, do not really have the authority to talk about, but things like abuse, like depression, like social anxiety. Yeah, really fucking heavy stuff. And obviously the rest of the album is great as well. It's got really nice structure to it, it's got really good handle on its pacing, and the performances are solid. I mean, the lead singer's only... Hang on, let me check how old she is again, because I was actually quite surprised by this. Lydia Knight, there we go. She's 22. Well, not even that, she's 21 now, she's going to be 22 soon. Anyway, yeah, this album's pretty good. And finally, we go to Cleveland, Ohio for Signals Midwest and their fifth album, Dent. Now, these are another band who I'm not too familiar with. This is my first album by them. This is their first album in about 6 years. And much like One Hidden Frame, they do play the sort of skate, melodic hardcore style pop punk, which I do enjoy. And this is the band's first album in 6 years, unless you count their 2019 Audio Tree Live thing, which I don't. And I'm giving this one a B. I liked a lot of the factors that went into it. Again, it's a style that I'm already a fan of, so I am a bit biased towards it. But yeah, it's something that just really worked for me. You know, the bands themselves come off as quite likable, and the lyrics are a bit more generic in terms in comparison to what One Hidden Frame did. But, you know, still pretty solid, still some good stuff about mental health, and there's a loose concept tying a lot of the themes together. And it's just some really good shit, you know, it's quite nicely paced too, doesn't really waste a lot of time, so yeah, I mean, if you just wanted really good box-standard pop punk, but with a little bit of seasonal sprinkling on it, then this is something that'll definitely fill that sort of gap, if you want to call it that. And that is another 5 albums fucking covered, mate. I will see you all, well, technically I'll see you tonight, because I'm going to be finally making public my Grim Fandango Let's Play, so yeah, I'm going to be doing that tonight. And then you'll see me tomorrow for another episode of Music of the Week, basically the one that was supposed to come out today, but the one that I'm doing right now was supposed to come out last week, so the one I'm supposed to be doing today will come out tomorrow instead. Yeah, and then tomorrow night will be War of Attrition, my last E-Fed show on 2K19. Almost had you there, didn't I? Yeah, I'm going to be moving to 2K22 after that. But that's for then. I will see you all very soon. As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.